Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, and Google. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. If you like these videos, go to my website, sign up, or click down here in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Traders looking for a new broker, check out venomtrading.com/promo/StockBookie. Alright guys, Facebook daily chart, $2.21 down. 21 million shares traded on the day, 1.58% red. So still trying to get back above the 20 MA. Pretty good downtrend in this thing right now. 200 MA on top, 50 on in the middle, 20 MA on the bottom, trying to recapture the 20 moving average. We also had a real good gap fill here, right around 139.53, 140 area. So as this thing was moving up, let's go back. We'll look on the weekly time frame. On the bigger time frame, we can see a little bit better. But trying to recapture the 20 MA, and today right back down, closed below the 20. Was this a short-term retrace leading to more selling? Possibly. If you look at coming from a high pivot and a down move, pretty much down, sideways, sell, retrace, sell, sideways, retrace, sell. That's pretty much what's going on here, guys. The only wild card could possibly be the holiday session, guys. Hanukkah's almost over, but we're going into Christmas and the New Year as well. So keep an eye on the markets, especially the SPY. Lighter volume, possible float. Heavier volume, most likely more selling. So watch for that. But daily, guys, still a little bit ugly. Catching some support areas down in here. Let's see what Facebook can do coming into the next week. 200 MA, that was the other reason too. That's why I wanted to go to the weekly time frame. This high pivot here will be support at 132.65. The 200 MA weekly time frame target. We hit target here, guys. I've been telling everybody for a long time, 200 MA will be the target eventually. We hit it. We're trying to get a bounce. This is a big area of support, guys. If this does not bounce in this area with the 200 MA, the high pivot where we came up, retraced, and broke out, that's great support right here. If this gives out, guys, we will be going to 115. And then I really think we'll start coming into this area. $100. I'm just looking for some gaps. Right here is pretty good, 106.43. If we go to 106.43, it's going to $100. Let's look at the monthly on this one though too. Monthly, we hit this target as well. I still think the 115.39 area is in play, but then you got some of these lower pivots too. This one I really like too, around the $89, and then this one here around 71. I don't know if we'll get there, but my gosh, what an ass kicking on this trade, guys. I mean, they brought it right up, got everyone on, and then straight down, guys. We do have great support in this area. If this support gives out, you just step aside in this name. You're definitely going to go to 115 and then possibly lower. If the market's catching overall bid, the IWM, the SPY, as a market trade, this will start to trend higher. So we're going to see what happens in the next couple of weeks, guys. Going through the holiday, I still think 2019 is going to be an up and down year, but we're going to see what happens. We take each day as it comes and figure out where these markets can possibly go. But again, guys, weak stance on the daily time frame, short-term period, and let's see what happens. Got to get back above these MAs and get this thing going. If it stays below the MAs and still chops around here, most likely we're going to be going lower. You know, unless the holiday session we go, you know, start grinding higher. So we'll see. Facebook's a weak stock right now. People are buying the dip or trying to. Let's see what happens with that. All right, let's go with Amazon, guys. Amazon, another nice pullback, unbelievable, right to this area. Can't help itself. We get right into here. Goes right back down, guys. I mean, we're looking at triple top here. Goes back down, retraces, comes back in, retraces, comes back in, retraces, comes back in, retraces. Overall, though, you're in a channel again. You know, here's your channel right here. You're boom, boom, boom. Until we know more, we're just gonna keep going up and down. You know, unless the markets break down. Markets go up. We got SPY going up. This goes up. SPY starts going down. This goes down. Everything's a market trade, guys. We did get back above the MAs right here. We talked about this. The only way they're going to get above this gap fill, they're going to gap it up on news, and that's exactly what they did on the non-news last week, guys. It's the Trump trade. They made a deal, or they're close to a deal. I mean, they made a deal. No, they're close. They made a deal. And and then the next day reality set in, right straight down. Then they got a little bit of a bid right here again. Oh, it's good again, it's Amazon, and then boom, right back down. We closed below, or this one actually closed right on top of the 20 MA, but we're back below the 50 and the 20 on the daily time frame. Remember, this is a day by day chart, guys. This isn't going to tell me what's going to happen in a week from now, a month from now. We're following this one day by day. Every time we get into this upper trend line, at this point, we're pulling back. Do we go a short-term retrace to the lows and start moving higher? This is the part that makes me wonder, though, guys. We made a new low here. If we stuck with this low and made a higher low, this would be a little more like, all right, it's starting to trend higher. Let's see what happens. But since we broke through this level here and made this low, this tells me we could possibly be seeing lower prices here. Next big area will be gap fill right here, right around the 1578, and another gap fill here around 1500, and then double bottom. If we go up, we got to get back above these moving averages and back above this trend line. If we do that, then possibly higher prices up until this gap fill, and then this high pivot right around the 1850 area. But I still think, we're in this lower range, chopping around. Amazon setting up for lower prices. Let's say drag this out going into next earnings season and everybody kind of pauses to see what's going to happen. That's the only other wild card other than the holiday season, guys. The holiday session, the Santa Claus rally. They haven't really been pushing it lately, but keep your eyes and ears open for it. CNBC will be hyping that one up a little bit more. So Amazon weekly chart still chugging around in this lower range. We did come back below the 50 and the 20 MA, a little bit weaker of a stance, and we did close below the 1648 area, which once that was good support and good resistance going up. So right now just chopping around, guys. Great move, $70 down, guys. A little bit down after hours on 7 million shares. This is the weekly chart time frame, but my gosh, just came right back in off these highs. Didn't even make it to the 20 MA, which I was pretty surprised. They had to get it above that to keep this thing rolling. We had a nice up move on this. We talked about this going, a little more follow through. Never got it other than the one day up, then the rest of the week down. Good thing we were off on Wednesday, guys, because I think we'd be down here by now. So let's keep an eye on Amazon. It's still Amazon, guys. So still got to watch out for that. People buy the dip on this, but we're going to know more come next week and the weekly close. Let's go to Apple. Apple daily chart. Big area for this one was gap fill, and we filled it yesterday, guys, and we closed below. So this one's real tricky right now because we came off of a high pivot, bearish consolidation, good down move. 20 MAs curling in the price now, chopping around in the lower range after this high pivot. This is setting up to go lower. Wild card though, gap fill. We filled it. It is this, they didn't bounce it. We filled it right at the end. It was coming in. So we're gonna see. Apple bounces, market should bounce. Maybe buy some calls in the market, ride it up. But man, closing below this gap fill, a little bit weak. I got to see more next week. We shorted Apple. We're out of this trade. So I don't have any position at this moment. I would love to go long, but I just got to see where this thing ends up. Right now it's closed below that gap fill. A little bit weak, but we closed it at the end of the day. So I had no time to bounce and get back going. So we still have, on the weekly chart time frame, we still have a big gap filled down here around 156, and then of course the 200 MA target at 141.31. Still have 150 good support. I'd love to see it come into this area. I don't know if we'll make it there, but that's a big area, this one, and then the big gap fill around the 120 area. And then you have the trend line, 120. I would love to see that. I don't know if we will, but it's not, you go from 235 to 170. Who's to say we can't go 168 to 120, guys? Overall markets, SPY, IWM, if those become weak, these will trend lower. So, but good area for a bounce. We'll see if it does. If it doesn't, then look for the 160 area down in here. Gosh, look at that. Brought it right up. Got everyone on board. Right back down. We'll probably see this again one day, maybe. But my gosh, this is what these guys are doing. They get everyone in, shaking them out. This thing drops lower, you'll start getting margin calls, and that will probably make this one drop a little bit quicker. Because everyone who buys a dip, guys, are going all in. They're not taking their time. They're not small positions. I'm going to show Apple. This is it. Buy the dip. Everyone's saying. The highs were 230. It's at 170. This is cheap. Nah, cheap down here is 120. So just be careful with Apple, guys, and be careful in these markets, small positions as you navigate. I mean, look at Netflix, guys, down $17. This one got murdered yesterday. You know, same thing, gap up, same thing with the markets, following the SPY, pulled back, got the bounce, right back down, guys. You know, and you're in this channel. You know, we've been in this for a while now, and this is pretty much what we're doing, guys. We're chopping up and down. I'm gonna pull this one down a little bit though. Right about there. But now here, boom, going up, right back down. Look at this. Caught this area down in here. I mean, yeah, right about there. Caught that area, got the bounce, comes back, goes right to the top of that, comes back in to the top again, comes back to the lower range. We came back down to double bottom, bounce again, right back to where? This trend line again. And this was a little bit of a head and shoulder pattern, guys. Retrace neckline, this head and shoulder plays out. Netflix is going to 176. And there's a huge gap fill here around 227. But if this thing catches and the markets start going, here's your left shoulder, here's your head, here's your right shoulder. Even retraced back up, trying to get above, and then broke down, got below, retrace. This is a great one, guys. This is the neckline. This is where it's going, 180 or so. So just be careful again in these markets. Nice reversal, close back below the MAs down here. Weak stance. You know, setting up for lower prices. If 250 cracks, we're gonna stair step down. We'll get the bounce, and now we're coming out of this channel too. We're closed below, so they're gonna either have to try to get this thing going again, or if this thing breaks down and gets below and starts just rumbling, gosh, step aside, guys. And some of my members short on Netflix, they got paid $17 down. That was 6.27 in the red that day on 12 million shares traded. So it was a pretty good slacking on Netflix, guys. And even the weekly chart tells us a little bit more, guys. You know, with this down sideways below the MAs, price target right here. Look at that. Here's your head and shoulder. Where's the 200 MA? Right at 171.13. So this thing starts chopping around. 20 MA curls around, and they'll be talking about the death cross on Netflix. And but here's that channel, guys, back at the lower range. Let's see if this head and shoulder plays out. Target will be around the 180 to 171 area. Actually, 176.26 is target. Goes a little bit lower, but I think at that point it will get to the 200 MA. Is there anything else here? There's a low pivot here. And then this low pivot right there at 144. So keep an eye on this one, guys. This one keeps breaking lower. Here's your target. So buy the dip right about here. I'd wait. And just if you guys getting into these markets, light positions, small positions, don't go crazy. You're gonna get your butt kicked in these markets. I teach strict money management and you know, technical analysis at StockBookie.com, guys. It's $30 a month. It's not that crazy. And we just killed it. 7 put positions in the last week. 5 of them, I believe, at 100%, and the other 2 at least 50%. We had a killer AMD trade. My members caught Netflix. We caught Amazon. We caught BA on the downside. And we even took Amazon and BA on the upside. Doing a little bit of everything here at StockBookie, guys. But Netflix, guys, if you're trying to go long, just be careful. If that head and shoulder pattern completes, you better just, you know, buy the dip at 170. Put it that way. And then Google L, guys. Google L. Daily chart on Google. We're $31 down. 3 after hours. What is it? 2.1 million shares traded, and almost 3% down on the day, guys. Same thing, just like the SPY. Everything's following the SPY trade. It's a market trade, guys. Everything goes up. We had great resistance right here. Double top, 200 MA. 1125 even number, and straight back down. We get a little bit of a safety up move, you know, just on more news, China trade, the Fed's not going to tighten anymore, and then boom, right back down. Big area for Google, guys. Here's your trend line from here. That's what it's pretty much trying to hold. We have a little bit low pivots down in here, and of course we have the low pivots here where we caught last time. But going up and coming right back in, that tells me we're going to lead to lower prices. Let's see what happens at gap fill at 1030, and then the 1,000 even number. That's the big one. If the 1,000 cracks, guys, well, we'll go to the daily on that. We'll talk about that in a second. But if the 1,000 number cracks, we're going a lot lower, guys. So right now we're just kind of chopping around, not really giving us any direction other than great intraday trading. And then we'll take a look at see what happens on and Google come in the next week or so. I want to see the weekly close as well. The weekly close is very important because here it looked like this thing was going to start breaking out. Oh my gosh, here it goes. Google's on tear, and then boom, right back down on the weekly. And you can see it a little bit clearer on here. Look at that, almost an engulfing candle. Right back to the lows. I mean, it's trying to get. I mean, this was the point where every time you bought the dip, it just started going up again, and this is the time. When you bought the dip, they came back and ripped you in your face. So we're right back to this trend line, which was once the breakout resistance, and now it's pretty good support here. But watch the 1,000 area. Let's go back on the weekly. You can see a little bit better. I still think we can get back down into this area here around the 867 and gap fill. This is a great bounce area, and this is setting up. Looks like at this point setting up for lower prices. Again, the holiday session could reverse these and we just float into Christmas. You know, that's the wild card. I've been saying that to my members. And of course, political news as well. China deal, trade deal might be, you know, done on Sunday, you know, and we rally on Monday. Who knows? But I think it's getting to the point where they keep crying that. Fed's not going to tighten. They keep throwing out news, positive news. Is that the only thing driving the markets? And if that's true, we're just going to start heading lower, guys. Period. When time's up, it's up. That's the bottom line for the markets. But again, you know, bulls, you got to get back above the 20 and the 50 and keep this boat rolling. Bears, you want to stay right here, click over, and just head down. If this thing just clicks and doesn't even move up, maybe a slight retrace leading to more selling. If we lead to more selling, watch out for this area. A push up, you got to get it back above. I'm going to have to go with 1160 to 1200 bucks and then possibly higher prices. I would love a retrace on this, to be honest with you. Again, we'll short it again. You know, just like this one. I was looking a little bit higher. That would have been nice at 1151 or so, 1150, and then the tank job. So watch for that, guys. Weak markets, small positions if you're trading, or if you're getting your ass kicked, no positions, guys. Let these markets settle down and get some direction. Right now they're going up and down, and just that's pretty much what it's given us. If you go to the SPY, if you guys hung around with this video, you're gonna get a little bit extra here. Go to the SPY, it's pretty much following it. Look at that, boom, down, boom, down, boom, down in this channel. Now we're at the lower range. If this area does not hold, 260's coming quick, and then on the SPY, guys, we're going to start stair-stepping here. 259, 254, and then 252. And if the markets really start giving it up, let's go to the weekly. Let's go to the monthly better yet. 233, guys. That's my price target on the SPY. I mean, or lower. We're going to see how this thing works. Because here's your big trend line, guys. If that's what's holding right now. If that gives out, we're going to just click, and we'll get short-term retraces, but it's just going to lead to more selling pressure. The 200 MA on the weekly, which is our target, which is 234, guys. We have a great gap fill there too. So it's going to be interesting, guys. Slow and steady, one trade at a time, small positions. If you're taking options, even smaller. What I tell my guys, if you have a $100,000 account, no more than 10 grand in a position, that's it. That's what shares. If you're in options, no more than 2 grand, maybe 3 at the most. If you lose that option, that's 3% of your portfolio. You're better off at 1%. You know, and if it starts going against you, you get out. Small positions, guys. Money management is super critical right now in these markets. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it for these 5 or 6 if you stuck around for the SPY. And we're going to see what happens next week. Lighter volume, we could possibly float. Heavier volume, we'll most likely be selling more. So be very, very awake in these markets. Anything's possible. Watch the news. Unfortunately, we got to watch the news at this point, or what President Trump's tweeting and all that good stuff. So stay buoyant, stay alive. If you can't handle these markets, just stay out completely and wait until some good bounce areas or so. All right, guys, thanks again for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like it. Don't forget to become subscribers and sign up, guys. 30 bucks a month. We've been flat out killing it lately. So again, thanks for watching. God bless. See you on the charts.